Dr. Priya Agrawal is the Executive Director of Merck for Mothers, Merck's $500 million 10-year commitment to ending preventable maternal mortality. As an OBGYN and a passionate health expert, Priya has dedicated her life to improving women's health globally. She joins us tonight to celebrate Merck for Mothers' Moments That Matter Voices of the Year category. But first, we wanted to share Ryan and Tara's story.
I met Tara when we were in high school. She was 16, I was 17. She was this warm personality that you wanted to be with, you wanted to talk to do things with, explore with. We dated for 8 years, and we got engaged, and by the time we were both 26, 27 years old, we got married.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Ryan, you may now kiss the bride.
It was the quintessential American dream. She surprised me big time. I came home from work, and before I could really even say hello, she said, "Ron, I'm pregnant." We were both shocked, but happy. We began getting the house ready and just kind of getting a plan on the type of parents we wanted to be. Labor and delivery all happened pretty quickly, and the next thing I know, I'm holding my baby boy for the first time. I look down at Tara, she's holding for the first time, and I remember saying, "What do you think he is?" And she goes, "I think he's a Brandon." I'll never forget that moment, looking in her eyes, the emotion and how proud she was. About a few hours after Brandon was born, Tara began to not feel well. She had some fainting issues that we were concerned with. We began telling our healthcare providers, our team. She truly felt something was wrong. We went home, started to get settled in.
Hi, Brandy Bear. Say hello, everybody. Say I'm here.
We'd been home now for about 36 hours total. We're family, we're finally here. And she says, I have to call the doctor, I have to go in. Something's wrong. We ended up back in the hospital, and over the period of the next 2 days, her condition just kind of began to get worse and worse. She had an infection, and she had gotten to the point where it had spread throughout her entire body. And to watch the person that you love so much have to go through that and watch her just slowly become, almost incapacitated it's devastating. March 31st, 2011, she passed away early that morning. The thought that Tara could pass away from something associated with giving birth, it never crossed my mind. I learned about maternal mortality only because it happened to me. Her legacy, in my mind, is best kept. It grows. If I can come out and I can tell what happened to her, it makes what happened to her matter. It was about 2 years where some friends of mine began to encourage me, saying, "We knew Tara. We know she wants you to be happy." I said, maybe there's someone out there who's been through the same thing.
I was originally married when I was 23 years old. 3 years after we were married, my first husband passed away from a heart attack suddenly. It took many years for me to realize that I needed to start dating again.
She's this amazing woman. I wasn't sure I could ever go through, having another child. And I meet this woman who has taught me how to live life again, how to love again.
Once I found out that I was pregnant, after knowing what happened to Tara, it definitely made me speak up more.
We told our doctors along the way, you need to be, ready for anything. Everything went great. Dylan came out 8 pounds, 12 ounces, happy and healthy. I remember telling her doctor after Dylan was born, I just said to her, "Please don't forget about her. I need you to be here for her."
It's still so important to make sure that Tara and her voice don't go unheard. People need to hear, people need to know, and people need to see that this still happens, and giving women a voice in our country and all over the world is the most important.
Getting the message across about maternal mortality it's incredibly difficult. People don't always want to hear it. You're having a baby. You don't want to think about death, but it doesn't discriminate. It can happen to anyone. Don't give up. If someone's not listening, if you can't get the attention you need, fight. Fight for it. Fight for each other, fight for your partner. Don't ever give up on each other.
Hello, LA. Well, that was my Sheryl Crow moment. Back to the real world. My name is Dr. Priya Agrawal, and I have the privilege of being the executive director of Merck for Mothers. Merck's $500 million commitment to ending preventable maternal mortality in 30 countries across the globe. And I have my wonderful team of dedicated and committed souls spread all across this room tonight. I am standing here today in honor of women like Tara Hansen, who lost her life due to childbirth complications, and for the men and women and families like Ryan and Mary Hansen who are working to make sure this unacceptable, generally completely preventable tragedy does not go unnoticed, especially in the United States, where maternal mortality is on the rise. And on top of those tragic deaths, 1 woman every 8 to 10 minutes in our country experiences life-threatening complications that she nearly dies from, affecting her long after childbirth. Tara's story is a powerful example of the importance of sharing your stories to raise awareness and being the voice of those who are no longer here today. Stories like this also make it even more important to celebrate the beauty and fortune of motherhood. That is why I'm so proud of the Merck for Mothers, Blog Her, and She Knows Media partnership and our Moments That Matter category, which celebrate the motherhood moments that so many are lucky to experience, whether through our own personal experience or through the experience of someone we love. We read stories that made us laugh, that made us cry, that made us remember, be grateful, be present. And we thank each and every person for sharing why mothers are so special. You all have the power to use your voice for good, to spread awareness and information through your personal and social networks, and together, by doing what Ryan asked you to do, we can create a world where no woman dies while giving life. It's now my pleasure to introduce our Merck for Mothers Moments That Matter Voices of the Year honoree, Katie Reed, who will share her beautiful piece on motherhood. Katie Reed is the blogger behind It's a Mother Thing, a blog she started when she was pregnant with her first child.
Congratulations, you're a mom. You've been a mother since the second that stick turned pink, but now your little bundle is in your arms and everyone else can see that your life has changed. I'm so happy for you, truly. And I know you're tired. I mean, that's actually the biggest understatement, isn't it? That's like saying Mount Kilimanjaro is a moderate hike. You've been through it all lately. The latter stages of pregnancy will have taken a toll on you, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And just when you were at lowest ebb, you had to somehow find the strength to endure a labor and birth. And even when it didn't go the way you expected, even when it was so much harder than you anticipated, you pushed through and brought new life into the world. Suddenly, that lowest ebb feels like you could have been running marathons. And now, after all you've been through, when you deserve the longest rest and the most attention for your hard work, you find that you get none. It's all about the baby. And you don't mind, not really, not yet. You are diverted by his tiny little fingers with the paper-thin nails that look like they might dissolve any second. You stare into the tiny eyes, so vibrant and full of life, staring back at yours in that way that all babies look at their mothers, as if you've always been there. While he is so new to you, you are not new to him. He recognizes you immediately, and he's comforted by you in a way that is like magic. His tiny little mouth is always working now, whether rooting for his mama's milk, searching for his pacifier, or just dreaming about his next meal. You will laugh to see him drinking in his sleep. His warmth will press against you and fill you with something you've never experienced before. As you hold him, you will feel the deepest sense of satisfaction that he is yours. You made him, you kept him safe, and you delivered him to the world in a precious little package that anyone can see as special. When he is away from you, even if only a few feet or in another room, you feel emptier. A mother's love cannot be described, it can only be experienced. You have unearthed new emotions that you never knew were inside you. We all know happy and sad and scared and lonely, but there are no words for these new emotions. They are the ones that come on out of nowhere, leaving you breathless. The overwhelming sense of awe you will feel when he opens his tiny mouth in the sweetest little yawn. The heart-stopping fear you feel when you can't stop imagining some small harm coming to him. That singular joy that only you will ever feel each and every time he does something new. No one else will ever feel these things for your child. We all may coo and cuddle him. We will tell you how beautiful and precious he is, and we will sympathize when he gets his first runny nose, or sneezes, or keeps you up all night screaming with colic. But only you will know the true magic of being a mother to this child. You were made for him, as he was made from you. They all told you your life would change, and you knew it was true, but you will only understand what they really meant as each new day brings new emotions and experiences your way. Motherhood is more than giving birth. It is a club with millions of members, all united by their differences. Don't let anyone make you feel you're doing it wrong. Don't fret that you're making the wrong choices. Only you know your life and your situation and what you and your family need. And yes, you are a family now, all of you, together forever. Congratulations, my friend. You are now a mother, and your life has altered in untold ways. But who you are at your core, the person who made the decision to bring life into the world, to raise it and nurture it and to protect it, is who you've always been. You are selfless, and you are beautiful. You are a mother.